It's been a rocky week for folks in the financial markets, and it's only Tuesday. The payoff, though, is coming this weekend when season 3 of the hit HBO series Industry premieres. Then you can watch other bankers, junior bankers in the city, try to navigate volatile markets and even more volatile clients. The first season debuted in 2020, and its third season is set to debut this Sunday on HBO and the Max streaming app. We're thrilled to have the creators of Industry in studio with us, Mickey Down and Konrad Kay, the showrunners. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
So season 1 was about fresh graduates getting permanent job offers, and some of them got it, some of them didn't. Season 2 explored crypto through a billionaire investor, kind of an Elon Musk-like character. What are you focusing on in season 3, and how did you arrive at this theme?
Season 3 primarily is about expanding the canvas of the show, and we're doing that through an exploration of ESG, ethical investment, social impact investing, which we thought was quite fertile ground for exploration, shall we say.
Yeah. You think people are going to watch that about ESG? I mean, not to rain because we talk about it all the time here, but as an entertainment show, I assume you made it a little sexier than that.
It's a little sexier than that. Okay, I mean, I made it sound like it was an academic lecture, documentary, but it's a little bit more sexy than that. I mean, like it's a little bit of a more, it's a playful, tongue-in-cheek look at that that part of investing.
And also, you have an incredible star too. You have Kit Harington, Jon Snow, as the CEO founder of this startup. I know that both of you worked in the city. Mickey for a year, Konrad for 3 years. What is it about the finance industry and the trading floor that makes it such a good backdrop for compelling storytelling, whether it's about ESG or whether it's about crypto?
They're just they're very interesting ecosystems. They pretend to be not very hierarchical, but they're very rigidly hierarchical. There are very few places in the world where you sit next to someone for 16 hours a day. You spend more time with them than your spouse or your extended family, and still you barely know them. And like we wanted, we wanted to make trading feel adrenalized and make it feel like an action sequence, make it feel like a sports movie. And it felt, it's still like one of the few places where it feels like the buzz and adrenaline is something that, translates very well to televisual storytelling, I think.
One interesting thing, though, about the stories, too, I mean, there's been so many movies and series about Wall Street and finance in general here, and they tend to paint either a villainous picture of Wall Street or kind of the heroic picture of Wall Street. This kind of falls somewhere in the middle, and I'm kind of curious as to how you had arrived at that, because most of the people in the show seem miserable. Like they hate their jobs, even though most of them are wildly successful. Right, they're all wildly successful, but they all seem to hate their jobs here. Is this like hitting close to home? Like, where did that come from?
Well, we were not very wild. I wouldn't say we were wildly successful when we were in finance. It's
chewed up and spat out.
Not a reflection of that at all. But I mean, look, the show was kind of born out of that what you were saying, which is like most of the depictions of finance industry are from a top-down lens. They're about people who already have all the power, which means that their bad behavior is slightly less excusable. Whereas our show is about people going into finance for the first time. It's about young people who are able to make mistakes. Sometimes those mistakes are understandable, sometimes they're excusable, sometimes they're not. But that's why I think the characters are slightly more empathetic than they would be if they were 30 years into their career.
Was there any discussion here about how viable a show effectively about finance and trading would be? I mean, we talk about sort of these, industry type shows, whether, it's like a medical show or a cop show. That's more palatable to most people because everybody has some interaction with that. Finance, for a lot of folks that don't work at Bloomberg, is just kind of so over their head.
For sure.
So how did you have the confidence that you were going to get a broad audience and not just a bunch of Wall Street nerds?
I mean, we could do with a broader audience, to be perfectly honest. The one thing I'd say, I think a fair criticism of the show is like we went very hard on the authenticity. So a lot of people listen to the first 2 seasons and they're like, this is effectively technobabble. Like we can't make head or tail of what they're talking about. But it's to the credit of the directors that we use and the quality of the actors that we have that the emotional stakes of every scene are still very clear, even if you don't understand what they're saying all the time.
Well, and one way you do that is through your characters and the characters you choose to highlight. And what I appreciate about Industry is the one character who's a complete natural at sales trading, who does it. She's gifted at it. She's complex. She's layered. She's arrogant. She makes a lot of mistakes. Is an outsider, right? You have a Black American woman working in London. She is out of place, yet you choose to tell the story through her. Why is that?
Well, exactly as I was saying. I mean, I think the expected route into a show like this is from the sort of top-down, white, very privileged lens, and the show to us was. It's an outsider story, as you said. It's picaresque.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about someone coming into a world which they're not really expected to be in and flourishing. And I think that's the thing that makes it slightly different to the other things that have preceded it.
show's about power, right? And so
Yes.
it would be a really boring show if you start someone with a load of power and then they think about how to lose it. It's far more interesting to start somebody with no power and see how they go about claiming it.
And that's such a contrast to shows like Billions, where, you know, Romaine was talking about some of your characters seem kind of miserable on the job. Everyone in Billions seems really happy with their job, but these guys are kind of conflicted. I know you have some finance insiders, some real life hedge fund managers and traders that advise you on the trading floor action and scripts and the dialogue. Have you ever rejected anything they've proposed?
They're very, very good. They're always ahead of the curve, but we've rejected stuff when it's patently obvious that they're trying to get their own back on someone in their personal life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they like
which
to shoot
happens
some
quite a lot.
shots, I would say, some of them.
I am curious though, and you also have a Wall Street, or I should say finance background, if you will. I guess technically Wall Street, because Morgan Stanley, go USA. But give us a sense here. I mean, we talk about this idea of the realism versus the fantasy that we often need in television and movies in order to keep people grounded here. Well, how did you sort of find that balance?
Well, I mean, look, the first version of the show that we wrote was just not going to fly with HBO at all because it was almost documentarian in how realistic it was. It was about, especially, you know, I was in investment banking, so it was the sort of, you know, M&A working to
pitch books.
Yeah, I mean, that no one wants to watch a TV show about that. Yeah. So that's why we got rid of that after the first 2 episodes. But that, I mean, having this sort of the tightrope between authenticity and actually entertainment was quite difficult. And actually, I think as the show has progressed into season 2 and season 3, as the characters have become a lot more powerful and have a lot more responsibility, we're able to do things with them which are higher stakes, which is more inherently dramatic. I mean, season 1 was really about the minutiae of working on a trading floor or in an investment bank, and season 2 and 3 are about these big macro things and changing finance, as you outlined before.
And I hate to put you on the spot, but how much further do you think this can go in terms of extra seasons, meaning that they're centered around a certain theme here, or you still have some ideas out there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'd love it to go. We'd love to do a full season.
We'll do it as long as HBO keep giving us the keys to the car.
Okay, all right. Well,
So AI, the yen carry trade, that's all in the scripts for
For sure.
but behind the scenes of the Fed, that's what we really like to know.
I think I've read that show is in development somewhere.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I think you guys need to get in on it, and like there needs to be some convergence,
Yeah.
some crossover.
We'll hire some lawyers.
Mickey Down Konrad Kay, thank you so much. Congratulations on the new season coming up on August 11th. Really appreciate your joining us and stopping by. Industry premieres season 3 on Sunday.